raising bookworms or robots, while private reading academies thrive. Korean parents send their kids to read books as a replacement for parenting, strategic investment. How can you cultivate a lifelong love of reading in your child? Reading them a story before bed, sharing stories, and a regular library visit might come to mind. In Korea, there's another option that is popular with the parents, sending your kids to a private reading academies. At a typical one, children read for a designated time, followed by activities such as writing summaries, studying vocabulary, and engaging in discussion about the material with the teacher. For older students, the curriculum is more geared toward providing structured reading guidance to enhance the reading comprehension and broaden their knowledge of the world. In a neighbor cafe for mothers of elementary school students, a user asked whether enrollment in Hagwon, a for-profit educational institute, could help a second-grade son develop a greater interest in reading. Older comments expressed positive sentiments toward the reading guidance program. One of them read, "They, children, will develop a fondness for reading as they go along." Unfortunately, this enthusiasm for reading is not shared by many adults. According to government data, only 43% of Koreans over the age of 19 read at least one book last year, marking a record low. In contrast, 95% of elementary, middle, and high school students reported reading, averaging 36 books per year, excluding comics, magazines, and school-related materials. While the rewards for reading are manifold, in the minds of these parents, the essence of a private reading education often boils down to one key aspect. It's a strategic gateway to academic success here. Hagwon Institute for Parenting. Despite that variation in format and approach, reading programs offered by private academies share a common goal: enhancing children's cognitive development through guided discussions and writing exercises centered on full-length books. While the cost of each academy vary, prices typically range from 150,000 to 200,000 won, $110 to $145 per month for attending 1 to 2 hour classes twice a week. South Korea's parents are well known for significantly investing in their children's private education. According to 2023 data from Statistics Korea and the Education Ministry, private education expenditures in Korea surged to an all-time high of 27 trillion won total. The average monthly private education expenses per student saw a 5.5% on year increase to 553,000 won. English reading, fun or rat race. Reading classes are even more widespread and intense in the for-profit English education industry. According to the data above, of the vast sums spent on private education, English education made up the largest portion at 29%. These English literature classes aim to create a print-rich environment that makes reading more enjoyable and accessible. Some of these classes draw from the approach of University of Southern California professor emeritus of linguistics, Stephen, an expert in second language acquisition, who argues that reading, instead of memorizing vocabulary and grammar, is the best way to learn a second language, and that comprehensible input, just slightly above a student's current proficiency level, is key to second language mastery. Now, reading academies in Korea assert that if an English immersive environment cannot be created at home or school, such comprehensive input can only be achieved through reading lots and lots of books.